up today to a beautiful, affirming, complimentary text message from my partner, and it suddenly dawned on me, I might have a praise kink, and you or your partner might too. Praise kinks are incredibly common, and due to a recent spike in social media attention, more and more people are realizing that they have them. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what a praise kink is, how to know if you or your partner have one, and how to use it to drive each other wild in the bedroom. Before we dive into how to use it, let's talk about what exactly a praise kink is, because there are some pretty common misconceptions. A praise kink is when someone gets turned on by, aroused by, or even emotionally fulfilled by verbal affirmation during intimacy. Anyone who has ever had a surge of arousal and turn on when a partner says "good girl" knows exactly what I'm talking about. Praise kinks often exist inside of a power dynamic where they flow from dominant to submissive partner, but I think that there is something here for everyone to learn from. Because at the end of the day, it is about receiving genuine validation that feeds something deeper in our psyches. Now, there are lots of reasons that a person might develop a praise kink, just like there's always a constellation of factors that help form any of our sexual preferences, from childhood needs that went unmet to things we were exposed to during puberty, or just a genuine curiosity that we have about power dynamics in bed. And no matter what the reason that we have one, expressing that praise kink can deliver a lot of pleasure and satisfaction and even safety on a deep level. Hearing praise in bed can be a powerful trigger to our reward systems, to our arousal systems. It can create a sense of both safety and vulnerability between partners. It can even provide us with emotional healing, especially to those of us who have a history of being criticized in the past. So if you are someone who feels an additional little tug of arousal or desire when you hear a bit of verbal affirmation, then you probably have a little praise kink in you too. And this is a thing to celebrate because it's one of the simplest kinks to explore and enjoy, and I'm about to tell you exactly how. Here are my 8 tips for exploring a praise kink by yourself or with a partner. Number 1, identify your praise triggers. The first step is to figure out the specific type of validation that turns you on. What meaningful praise looks like to you might be different from what it looks like to the next person. And the first step is to reflect on what it is about the praise that gets you going. Maybe you're someone who loves being complimented on your physical appearance. Maybe you're more into hearing how good of a job that you're doing in bed. Or maybe you're someone who gets off on knowing how you make your partner feel. When it comes to giving or receiving praise, listen, there is no right or wrong way to do it. We all have different values when it comes to this kind of affection. And if you want to make giving or receiving praise truly fulfilling within your relationship, the first step is to figure out what type of praise hits the deepest for you or your partner. Take some time to reflect on what it is you're into. Fantasize about different types of praise and see what resonates the most. Like, see what gets your body going. Like, don't judge it too much with your mind. Your mind is going to tell you that you should be into this kind of praise and not into that kind of praise. Feel into your turn on. And remember that we are all deserving. You are deserving of verbal appreciation. So this isn't the time to feel shy or embarrassed or judgmental about what it is that you want to hear. Number 2, communicate with your partner. Once you've found some clarity on what exactly you are into, it's time to bring your partner into the conversation. And of course, if you are someone who suspects that your partner has a praise kink, then the first step would look like asking your partner to do the reflection in step 1 and getting curious about their needs, really watching and paying attention to what turns them on. Talking about your kinks with your partner can be a really bonding and mutually beneficial experience. Don't just tell each other what you want. Dive into why you want it. Tell them how the praise you're into makes you feel. Share where you think these desires are coming from, what they do for you. Invite your partner to offer any beneficial insights that they have based on their knowledge of you. Remember, sometimes our partner can see us even more clearly than we see ourselves. This conversation will not only bring about more clarity around exactly how to please each other in bed, it's also an opportunity to go a layer deeper into each other's psyches and deepen and strengthen your bond. Number 3, be open to experimentation. Along with communication around the things that you're sure you like, be open to experimenting with different types of praise to see what resonates. Some of us are really good at self-analysis and reflection, but many of us, myself included, need to play around with different options until we can actually feel into what resonates, what feels good for us. So try giving and receiving different types of praise during sex: physical, performance-based, emotional, whatever else your partner or you thinks might work. If you're receiving, pay attention to how it makes you feel and tell your partner when you're into it. If you're on the giving end, try to tune into your partner's reactions, their body language, to see what different types of praise are really working for them. And remember, not everything is going to work for everyone all of the time, but figuring it out through trial and error, especially when we agreed that that's what we are doing, can be a whole lot of fun if you are both open and receptive. Now, when it comes to the nuts and bolts of how to give praise, there is one important tip to keep in mind, and that is number 4, be authentic. Praise can look like a million different things, but if it isn't coming from a place of truth, it probably isn't going to have the desired effect on either partner. Lots of what people worry about is what to praise in the bedroom. They worry about saying the wrong thing or going overboard with a compliment. But the truth is, when learning how to praise, the most important thing is just to stay truthful, to stay authentic. Use the opportunity to really pay attention to your partner during sex. Be present with what they look like, the faces they make, how they move their body. Be present with your own feelings, what comes up for you when you're having sex with them, and watch for their reactions to the various forms of praise you offer and track what works best for them over time. If you are in the habit of authentically communicating what you appreciate with your partner, this is something that you can just build on top of that practice. But if you are not in the habit, it might be necessary for you to work on gratitude, appreciation, words of affirmation outside of the bedroom. That's going to make it so much easier for you to bring this into the bedroom. I guarantee that with practice, you will notice things that you like. You will notice things that turn you on, and then you will share them with ease after you've practiced. And there are countless things that you can notice about your partner. Your body looks incredible from this angle. You're so good at that. I'm so pleased with you. I've been waiting all day to take you. These are just a few examples, but as long as you are praising from a place of authenticity, your partner is probably going to love it. As with most things, it is not what you do, but rather how you do it. Number 5. Use praise at all stages of sex. From foreplay all the way through aftercare. Praise can be used to turn you on before sex, to take you over the edge while you're having sex, and to connect you deeply in the time following. During foreplay, you can compliment your partner by telling them how good their skin feels under your hands, or how turned on you are by the way they move their body, or what a good job they're doing at turning you on. Because the intensity is still building, foreplay is a great opportunity to get a little more verbal before you lose yourself in the actual act of sex, because not everyone has access to like all of their thinking, articulating, speaking brain once they're in a lot of pleasure. During foreplay, the praise you are giving could be about the present moment and the things you're noticing, but you could also feed into your partner's praise kink by recalling past experiences that you had with them. Something like, I couldn't stop thinking about the way you touched me last time. You're learning how to please me so well. I'm so proud of you. And once you've had sex, you could use praise to connect during aftercare, like by telling your partner exactly what you enjoyed about the sex that you just had. Tell them what drove you absolutely wild. Tell them in detail. Bring them into your experience. Not only does this scratch the itch of their praise kink, but it's also a great way of communicating what you like so that you can experience more of it in the future. That brings me to number 6, pair praise with physical touch. Make your praise multi-dimensional by pairing it with your hands and your mouth and your whole body. Combining verbal affirmation with physical affection can deepen the physical and emotional experience for you both. When you're complimenting a body part, try touching it. This is like such a simple way to add praise, but it really accentuates your appreciation of their body. If you want to take this experience to the next level, you could gently touch all along your partner's body and list all of the things that you like and admire and what you love doing or having done to you with each of those parts. You can make it a game. You could even take turns. It could be a really hot way to practice praising each other. Which brings me to number 7, use praise strategically. Once you're more comfortable with giving praise or receiving praise, you can up the ante by doling it out with some strategy. As the old saying goes, timing is everything, and that is so true when it comes to all things sex. A well-timed praise can be the thing that takes your partner over the edge of arousal and sensation and delivers them to bliss. Try timing your praise for when your partner is just about to orgasm in order to take their experience to the next level. Or when you're having a slow and intimate moment in your lovemaking, use praise to deepen the emotional impact of that moment. Learning how to time exactly when you praise your partner is going to take some experimentation. Keep an eye out for when your partner reacts the most strongly to praise and just make a note of it for next time. Remember, this is all about playing around and just seeing what works. Final tip, number 8, bring praise outside of the bedroom. If you or your partner has a praise kink in bed, it is more than likely that one of your love languages is going to be words of affirmation out of bed, right? Meeting this need, both in and outside of the bedroom, is a great way to keep each other feeling cared for and turned on. Affirmation shouldn't stop when sex ends, and it doesn't have to be sexual in order to satisfy their need for praise. Compliment your partner regularly and get into the practice of noticing and then voicing the things you like and appreciate about them. From complimenting their appearance to telling them that you're proud of them to naming the things you admire about their character, sharing what you love about each other not only keeps your emotional connection alive, it is really great foreplay for when you do get into the bedroom. You see, praise kinks are about so much more than just compliments. They are about connection, emotional safety, feeling truly valued for who you are and what you provide to your partner. When you explore them consciously and tap into each other's needs, you can bring a whole new depth of intimacy and pleasure into your love life. Let me know in the comments below how you have expressed or experienced praise kink, what phrases do it for you or your partner, and anything else that you have to add on this subject from your experience. And while you're down there, make sure that you are subscribed to this channel. I'm Caitlin B. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you here later. Bye.